Hi, I'm Tamitha Scove with your solar storm forecast for the week of October 22nd. We are on the edge of our seat this week as the largest sunspot in this cycle begins to transit the Earth disk. And this thing is nothing short of amazing. It's been dubbed the Godzilla sunspot by David Finley. And even Phil Platt from the Bad Astronomer has chimed in, taking a picture of the thing because it's just so enormous. And yes, you can see this thing with the naked eye, although I don't advise that you do so. So what does this mean for us? Well, my good friend Neriaki Nita, also known as Halo CME, put this in perspective by comparing the size of this spot to ones from the previous solar cycle that caused the largest storms. And the storms we're talking about are the Halloween 2003 storm that caused a grid outage in Sweden, and also the March 2001 storm, which I highlighted just a couple videos ago. Now, regarding activity, before this thing was even visible at Earth, it let off a monstrous solar storm that headed straight toward Mars. And you can see from the models, the timing was such that it arrived at Mars right on October 18th, right during Comet Siding Spring's flyby of Mars. And so what we're hoping is that just like this from Comet Inky back in 2007, you can see that coronal mass ejection actually disrupts the tail. So we're hoping that some of the information that we get back from Siding Spring's flyby will actually show something similar. It's really good science. And as this thing continues to rotate onto the disk, it is continually letting off flares. You can see there's an X1.1 flare right there, bam, on October 19th, and it is continuing to let off M flares since then. There have been no less than 7 M flares in the past couple days, yet despite that, there's not been any solar storms that have let loose. Switching to our M flare threat meter, you can see that huge M flare back on the 14th. That's the one that sent that solar storm heading off to Mars. There's the X1.1 you see right there, but since then it's only been M-class flares and they've been short. Now, as I say this, the sun lets off an M8.7 flare right now that's affecting the Asian Pacific region. You can see here in this diagram. Now, as we continue looking at the sun, we haven't seen any notable evidence of a earthward-directed solar storm, but I will be sure to give you a midweek update to let you know if those conditions change and if a solar storm actually was launched towards us. Switching to our storm levels, you can see we actually did have a solar storm hit us on the 14th, and then it quieted down until about the 19th, 20th, when a high-speed stream hit, and then a grazing solar storm hit us. So we've had high levels all on the 20th and the 21st, which gave us beautiful aurora both in the south and in the north for over 24 hours. So we've had gorgeous aurora from Norway and Siberia and Russia, as well as Scotland. And in the United States, we've had Minnesota and Oregon. And then we've also had gorgeous displays both in Tasmania and also in New Zealand for the Aurora Australis. So what else does the sun have in store for us this week? Well, this is stereo. It's our backside monitor. You can see here's Earth, here's the sun, and here's stereo A staring at the sun from behind. And you can see we actually have had some new growth just west of region 2181, and that is rotating onto the east limb just about now. You can also see we've had a little bit of activity in region 2182, so we expect that to rotate onto the east limb probably in about 4 days. Now, returning to the disk, you can see region 2187 is moving off to the west limb. 2193 is stable for now, but the big player here is 2192. I mean, look at this Goliath. Now, it is still growing as it's rotating onto the disk. It is spreading. The leading spots are spreading a little bit, but it just gave us an M8.7 flare, so obviously it's still a threat to us. We haven't had any solar storms as of yet that are Earth-directed, but we will keep you posted. NOAA is keeping its M flare threat level quite high because of that. We also have region 2194, which is stable right now. That's one of the new regions that I just finished talking about that's rotating from the backside, as well as a new region that is just coming onto the disk. Switching to our solar storm and aurora possibilities over the next few days, we're actually in a high-speed stream right now, which will intensify over the next day or so. And NOAA is giving us an expectation of active to minor storm conditions with a possibility of about a 40% chance of a major storm at high latitudes. Now, mid-latitudes, we're only expecting unsettled conditions over the next few days with about a 25 to 30% chance of active conditions. So you could get some aurora, which then will settle down over about the weekend or so. Switching to your solar flare and particle radiation storm outlook for the next few days, NOAA has issued a 65% chance for an M-class flare over the next few days because of region 2192, and we've already gotten an MX or 8.7 flare just now, so that could increase Also, for particle radiation storms, we're expecting about a 10% chance for a particle radiation storm, which might increase through the end of the week as this region begins to rotate to the west limb. So this week is turning out to be a real nail-biter. We have region 2192 that has let out nearly 10 M-class flares and 1 X-class flare just simply since it's entered Earth view. Now this week it's rotating into the Earth strike zone, so if it does let out a solar storm and it launches one, it will be Earth directed, so we're watching it very closely. Meanwhile, we're continuing to experience radio blackouts because the M-class flares keep coming, so expect that to be an issue for you ham radio operators. We're also in the middle of a high-speed stream, so we are getting some aurora effects, so you might see some issues with your GPS or your satellite phone or satellite internet if you happen to be at high latitudes. But most of that should settle down as we come close to the weekend. Meanwhile, keep your eyes on region 2192 as it's sure to have some more fireworks before it's done. I'm Tamitha. Thank you for watching.